Yep, here we are. Here is our Mini-SOAR Echo, still orbiting. It's been a few days since I recorded. I was doing other things. I was helping some guy out with this. He's doing this Skylon mod, which looks fantastic, and I was attempting to help with that, maybe causing more problems than I was worth. And then I also was looking at this, the early experimental version for 0.90 beta. I figured out what I want to do for my preview video and got most of that recorded, so I can't say anything about it at this point other than it looks real good and I'm very pleased about it. I know what I want to do for my preview video. So, but right now, yeah, we need to take a look at re-entering this thing. Actually, even before that, okay, a couple of sharp-eyed viewers left comments in the past video. You know what I forgot to do? Whenever I ceased recording that other one, is I thought I had just over 300 meters per second of delta V. I actually have more than that because one of these fuel tanks, I forgot to turn it back on. Kind of a bonehead mistake. Very simple rookie mistake. Okay, so the agenda for today is, again, very much like we were doing earlier with the Proto-SOAR. We need to put this thing through its paces in re-entry. Potentially complicating matters for this re-entry, I have a new and updated version for deadly re-entry using 6.3.1. They changed the way some of the systems work. I'm sticking with the default normal. I haven't done any other config file edits for that. Also potentially complicating matters, after I got this vehicle into orbit, I realized I'm missing something that I put on the Proto-SOAR. I'm missing my thermometers that I intended to put on the leading edge of the wings. We don't have those, but we can still, you know, right-click and take a look at temperature of things that way. So we can still do our, do our first re-entry tests even without that. Alright, so first things first, what I need to do is I want to get this thing into a 100-kilometer circular orbit, as we ended up in this kind of sloppy orbit. That's our 20 minutes we come up to our apoapsis. We'll correct that. So we'll be doing all our tests from an identical initial starting point. And I also need to go and I need to put a flag on the runway, so I have a target to aim for, and then we'll start doing some re-entry tests. And done. Got one down here, runway 27, and the other one over here, runway 09. For reasons that I do not understand, maybe somebody really smart does, if you put this flag any closer than, say, like within a few hundred meters of the runway, the game tends to eat it. It just disappears. So I put it about 1 kilometer out there. New vehicle is still here, pointing downwards. It looks kind of like a symbol, kind of a religious icon of some sort. It's a bent cross with arms reaching upwards. I don't even know what that means, but I know, looks kind of cool. Okay, so let's open this up in our test. Recalling that all our tests with the Proto-SOAR, we never did actually hit the target, but we were getting close. Our closest was back here. We tried this negative 230 degrees, unless I forgot to write it down. I may have, if I go back and look at the previous video. And we were landing short. And now I know that this vehicle will not behave exactly the same. It probably doesn't have exactly the same wing loading, exactly the same. Well, I know it doesn't have exactly the same pitch authority because we're trying something different. But we'll start. I actually want to go just a little bit closer. We'll go to 245. Yeah, phase angle 245. We'll point retrograde and we'll burn for 100 meters per second. Okay, we didn't have any solar panels on the Proto-SOAR. We used the radioisotope thermal generator. However, some of our oversight or our watch committees who keep track of us, they didn't like the idea of putting radioactive elements into something that is meant to re-enter, and they're afraid of this, the thing coming apart and spraying radioactive dust throughout the upper atmosphere. We tried explaining it's infinitesimally small amounts with a really short half-life anyway, and you get more radiation just from sunlight, and, they didn't want to hear it. So, no RTGs on this one. We're going with solar panels. You see, it gives you various charts and graphs and stuff. The cameras. I've got 3 cameras scattered around this vehicle. Number 1 needs aligned as it's getting a good view of the side of the hull. 2, as I recall, is looking straight down from the docking port, and 3 is looking straight backwards. So if I actually pitch, pitch up like this, yeah, 3 is looking straight backwards. That could be useful. I meant number 1 to have a view looking forward, especially to help lining up with a runway sometimes. But apparently I do not have that one configured correctly yet. Let's point directly retrograde. Wait for that, and my delta V total, I'm going to drop that down to 333, exactly whenever this thing says 245. 0.8, 0.9. I forgot to it goes kind of slow. Boom, just like that. Okay. You can see our periapsis has gone to negative numbers, and we're down there. Okay. Okay, that works. Let's go ahead and... I can't recall. It's actually been a few days since I set this up. I can't recall, did I set up my... Yeah, okay, action group number 1 retracts all of those things. That's very good. Should have enough battery to make this last. There we are. Okay, action groups. I need a quick refresher course, as it was several days ago I put this together. Yeah, this is the solar panels. That's the inline clampetron. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it on 6. That's... Okay, I remember my reasoning, because I had other things. I was thinking about, yeah, putting these on the trim. So I wanted something next to those, but... Okay. Yeah, 6. I have these are elevators set up so that they will go, whenever I hit action group 6, they will go to 30 degrees of going for a nose up attitude, and I will still retain 20 degrees control deflection. Alright. Of course, I don't know, will it work if I'm out of atmosphere? Yes it does. Yeah, I hit action group 6. There's those things go. Good. Good. Okay. Okay, that's good. Close that one. So now, yeah, we'll be taking a look at our vertical speed. We're looking at, we don't have anything to measure temperature. Let's go with this wing part right there to look at our temperature. It's telling me large scale stall. That's what I want at this point. Okay, now our temperature is starting to get kind of warm-ish, but nowhere near anything dangerous. EAS above 60, rapidly increasing. Say when we get... Okay, hang on, it starts kicking around like that. Let's go to 1-to-1 time. Let's kill that time compression. Let's... hang on, drop... No, stability, guys, stability. I want stability. Drop the nose, please. Let's hit 6. And see that weird thing. That was... It's continuing to be difficult. The parachute tell me it's overheating already. That parachute is not going to be long for this world, is it? Okay, let's try it like this, or airspeed. Lots of things are getting too hot. Again, this is a new version of Deadly Reentry. What did I lose? Okay, nav lights. Those have always had some of the lowest temperature tolerance. Anything. Then again, I'm above my 110 desired and still increasing. What was that? My radial chute, my cameras. Okay, we still haven't lost anything that we can't afford to lose. Yeah, those. Just a bunch of extra stuff. Shellfall appears rather upset about it. Now what do we lose? More nav lights. Okay, good. Still, we have not lost anything that we can't spare, and now I've got a little bit of a climb going. Let's put it into that feather mode again, huh? I really want to be able to just steer this with rudder and allow this... Okay, feather mode appears to be working. At this point, it's pulling more Gs than the other one. Maybe it's pulling too many Gs. I actually need to decrease the feather amount. Oh, I see. It's probably because... Here, let's turn the SAS off. is because the additional... Oh, yeah, we got too much of a climb going. It's because the additional control... No, we need the SAS on. It's not going to be stable without it. Let's turn our feathering off. Turn the RCS back off. Okay, now we are out of control. Turn the SAS off again. I'm trying to fly around sideways. This is very, very bad news. Turn their SAS back on. Okay, let's get a nose. But we still have a pretty dramatic climb going. RCS, will that help us kind of stabilize things here? Can we get this pointing in the direction of the nose? Okay. Nose pointing into the relative wind, even if upside down. Good enough. Can we roll it over? And keep it here. Okay, that's good. Whew, well, that's been all just incredibly exciting, isn't it? Now, seeing how this is an experimental vehicle and it's a simulation, I'm already seeing that the chief difficulty is because whenever I hit 6 and I put these wings into the auto feather mode. Then that puts a rather significant nose up attitude, and then my SAS is fighting that. And it's putting additional control inputs into that. Okay, let's try it this time just without the automatic feather mode. We'll leave SAS on, RCS off. Okay, I already know that we're probably, we're not making my target. I'm not even trying that because the making the target is based upon having the thing stay in control through the whole approach. But now I just want to see, will the vehicle be controllable? Yeah, let's not do the automatic feather idea, and we'll just control it the way we did the Project SOAR. Not helping matters. I have a very low frame rate. It's about 16, 17 frames per second right here, and you can see how slowly each second is passing over there. It's slightly upsetting to me that this isn't behaving anything like as nice as the Project SOAR did, despite having nearly identical configuration on the wings. Let's disable these reaction wheels, huh? There. So let's just do this with aerodynamics. And we lose... Yeah, we have no roll control that way. Okay, let's turn our reaction wheels back on. Here we go. And now we're losing control. Let's try and get the nose into the relative wind again. Now we're completely sideways and flying kind of backwards. Very, very bad news. Still we're kind of experimenting with that. We started in a bad attitude. Yeah, flipping around backwards. That's not good. Can we try and get more weight? And then I think we already have most of our... Well, here, let's try something. No, let's get more weight in... Oop, hang on. I was going to try and move more weight to the nose, but just at that instant we began to get some more control this way. We're too fast again. It is just not being anywhere even close to stable. I am very disappointed about this. And something's burning, I don't know what. So we're about to approach, just past 130 meters per second. These couple of these parts, 329C, 167C. Approaching 140 meters per second. Come on, can we just level the wings, please, and pull up? That's all I want of you. It's got a constant. It's wanting to roll to the right. Okay, there that went. What's our temperature here? 730. Temperature in this one. Oh, that's interesting. That should be really hot, but it isn't. How about our nose cone here? Whoop, yeah, 1500 degrees. That's going to pop pretty fast. Maybe it's trying to yaw to the right. Maybe we need to make my vertical stabilizers bigger. Maybe they're just not quite big enough. Something burning. We don't want to guess what. So finally got our equivalent airspeed starting to slow down. Okay, what was that? Okay, that was another solar panel. Probably going to be another one. That was something else. A strut connector. That's kind of a big deal. We usually need those. They're on there for a reason. But the vehicle has finally... We're acting kind of stable here, and we're about to get into a climb. And our equivalent airspeed is dropping. So important pieces don't start breaking until we get up, you know, say above 160 meters per second. That's one bit of useful information. Okay, I want to try and do these kind of S-turns. Let's make our target, maybe apparently we can go as fast as, say, 125. We make that our target airspeed. Oh, okay. I think it's up here. It's at this airspeed. Now we start losing our controllability. It was nicely controllable, say if it was above 120 meters per second, but as we dropped below that, now, yeah, it's starting to wander around and roll and yaw. The airplane really doesn't like flying that slow. Okay, so that's a large part of what's happening. I may have been wrong to shrink the wings as much as I did. Except now we're definitely getting too fast again. Look at that. Now we're going to exceed 150 because I wasn't paying close enough attention. And another issue is the Proto-SOAR had a 30 degrees of deflection, and I've got these things right now set for 20 degrees. Okay, well apparently some of these other bits are well capable of handling up here around 200 meters per second without getting too hot. Although we've got to be really close to the edge now. Yeah, something important's going to pop this time. It's suspense. I don't even know what that was. Okay, that was another strut. I don't know which strut. I hope it wasn't an important one. What? Let's drop that nose. Let's try and maintain this around this 200 meters per second, huh? I think what I'm going to do, after I see it slow down, the one thing that I want to see happen, it's slow down to subsonic and remain controllable, which I'm very confident it will, but I want to demonstrate that. We'll go back into the spaceplane hangar, and we'll change this. Okay, the automatic feathering by hitting the action group, that was a bad idea. We'll remove that one change. We'll give it so that it'll have, just like the Proto-SOAR, it'll have 30 degrees of controlled travel on the elevators. And then we'll load this up and we'll launch it and we'll try it again in that configuration. That'll be just exactly the way the Proto-SOAR worked. And so I want to see that work with this one. Oh yeah, and put thermometers on it. So you can keep an eye on the temperatures that way. Should be cooled all the way down now, right? Yeah, done 327. And so those nose cones continue to be the hottest thing. Really, these wing parts down here, those should be equally as hot, if not hotter. And apparently Deadly Reentry doesn't know that for whatever reason. I'm not certain why that is. Okay, there's Mach 1.3 coming up on the transonic range. I'll kill my... let's actually, yeah, let's turn the SAS off, see what happens. And I killed my trim. There's Mach 1.2, so we're getting transonic. Kind of a low equivalent airspeed for this airplane. It doesn't really like that low speed like that. Try it with the SAS on. But I really want to try... now, as it goes transonic and slows down, I really want to do this with the SAS off. Just to see exactly how it performs. Although really, if it were going to be having any problems, we'd be exhibiting them right now. And the vehicle's being perfect... you know, other than the nose not wanting to stay where I put it. Some pitch instability, which I can try to fix with just some basic trim. And it's being just fine. Oh, there's that Mach number increasing again. It's not... pitch back some more. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's transonic manners. Perfectly acceptable. So that, at least, is working correctly. So we'll try to trim it out so it'll maintain about 90 meters per second equivalent airspeed. How about that idea? Because just as a best guess, that seemed like a pretty good landing speed, and your landing speed is usually pretty close to your best glide speed. Okay. Still a very good looking bird. I really like the way it looks. I'm not ready to give up on this design. Yeah, I have ideas of things that can be changed to make this work better. It will work in re-entry. I'm certain we can make it work. I think our next... seeing how many more Gs this thing can pull than the Protosaur could, I believe, you know, and that means that it will have the capability of, you know, slowing down faster. I believe that our next test... I'll go and I'll write this down here. Our next test, let's go to give it an even 270 degrees. The way you judge this, if you can tell, I mean, it's moving so slowly, it's really difficult to tell, but and if you're approaching the ground at an angle, then you see some of the terrain will be moving towards you. That's just the image, what your eyes see. Some of the terrain will be moving towards you, and some of the terrain will be moving away and getting further away. In the point between the two, between the terrain moving towards you and the terrain moving away, that's the point where you will hit, you know, if you continue moving at your present angle. It's a... I don't know, I'll talk about it. I should have said it's a lot easier to see when you're closer to the terrain. Yeah, I think what I'm seeing, I mean, it's moving so slowly that but I believe what I'm seeing is about from this point of the terrain, that's moving forward, and from that up, it's moving away. So I think that's about where we're going to be matching, but of course that doesn't take into account. We'll be maneuvering when we get down that low. Too bad we lost our parachute, but oh well. Yeah, okay, now you can, as we get closer, it's a little bit easier to see. You can see that this part of the terrain, it has the appearance of moving towards you. This part of the terrain has the appearance of moving up and further away, so the actual impact point's right around there. Excuse me, not impact, our controlled touchdown point. When our radar altimeter tells us we're 1,000 meters up, we'll extend the gear. Not quite there yet. So we'll actually decrease at trim, allow the nose to drop, to allow it to pick up a little more airspeed just so we have a good controllable flare before landing. There we go. Let's get some landing gear. At least that appears to be working correctly. Again, I have to remind myself that we don't have the shadows to help me, but the terrain details, the little cacti, the rocks and stuff will help with that. A little bit of an upslope here. We can go ahead and start slowing down. Oops, okay, I'm kind of ballooning along to allow it to set down. Slight nose up attitude. There we go. Hold the nose, get on the brakes, hold the nose down. Kind of bumpy. Oh, don't be turning sideways, don't be turning sideways. I got off the brakes. Back on the brakes. That was kind of exciting. Yeah, that's why why I put an arrestor chute on this thing. Here we go. Okay, well, at least we do know that the vehicle can, it can re-enter stably and controlled. I just didn't do it correctly for the first part of the re-entry. And we know it can glide, we know it can land, we know it can come to a stop without destroying itself. So these are many good things. Now I just have to go and make a couple of changes. Really, I think I'm not going to change anything as far as the parts, except for adding 2 thermometers, one to either wing. But we're going to change how we control our elevators. We'll get rid of the automatic feathering as that was causing us headaches. And increase the control travel to 30 degrees instead of 20. So, now we got some post-commentary. I went back and I made these changes. Well, I also put the parachute up on top so it wouldn't burn up. We went and launched the vehicle again, totally uneventful, normal launch. I was happy to, this time, just flew it straight into a 100-kilometer orbit. And this time, re-entering went much, much better. In controlling, hey, you put the, what a surprise, make the wings exactly the same shape as the Proto-SOAR and exactly the same control travel as the Proto-SOAR, and it flies pretty much exactly like the Proto-SOAR. I don't know what I was thinking in changing things differently. Slightly disappointing, even above my target airspeed, 110 meters per second equivalent airspeed, little radially attached bits are still burning up. It's cameras, and it's these nav lights, and it's the solar panels, just all these extra bits that I didn't really need anymore once I'm out of orbit. Also, taking a look at the map view, taking a look at this coast coming up, it looks like we're getting much, much better at aiming for our target. This was a surprise. After the thermometers weren't reading the correct temperature, then they decided to go and blow up. So the thermometers ended up being completely useless. So at this point, I was up here fast approaching my target of Kerbal Space Center. I tried resetting the target to make my distance measure work correctly with kind of limited success. Slowing down, we're just above Mach 3 and still 29 kilometers up and 100 kilometers out. So it is kind of an overshoot. By this point, honestly, I was really tired of flying the airplane. I wanted to be on the ground. I wanted it very badly, and so I did something stupid. This was a stupid thing to do. So I slowed down to minimum controllable airspeed, try and save myself from the worst of it, and then did a split S, because I figured I had the altitude for it. And this is the fastest way I know of to turn this airplane around. Yeah, a split S starting at like Mach 1.5. It was kind of worrisome that we hit 100 meters per second. We're less than a quarter of the way through it. We hit 200 meters per second, less than halfway through it. The fastest I had ever flown this thing previously, when not recording, was 300 meters per second. You saw radially attached bits. Those are my RCS ports falling off. And I was trying to do the tiny, most gentle, smallest pitch corrections possible, because the previous time when I had flown it at 300 meters per second equivalent airspeed, the wings broke. The whole thing exploded. I was impressed and surprised, really, that it worked. The vehicle did not explode. We made it through there. Still left with the difficult problem in being an aerodynamically slippery vehicle, too high, too fast, attempting to descend and slow down at the same time. The vehicle really needs air brakes, needs spoilers, needs some way of slowing down. At this point, really, any intelligent person would have gone around. I still had enough fuel. I could have gone around and gone for another landing, but no, I was absolutely determined that I was done flying this airplane and I wanted it on the ground. I was going to force the thing down, even though I know it's a horrible idea. You never ever land airplanes like this. But I decided to do it anyway. I was so desperate I actually deployed the parachute in flight in an effort to slow the damn thing down. Alright, so we finally get on the ground. You know, one bounce just immediately before the end of the runway, and then this ugly yaw stability ground handling issue rears its head. But we recover from it, and we're left, you know, exiting the runway at a high speed, but still slowing down. Calmol appears kind of unconcerned at this point. He's like, man, he went through the re-entry. He's okay with this. And it worked. It worked. That was just horrible piloting on my part. The vehicle works. I was going to send Calmo out there to repack the parachute just because I thought it'd be kind of fun. So this is calling, I'm calling this vehicle is good enough. It is okay to go. We're getting out of the experimental development version, and I am moving it into the actual series. The next thing we're going to record will be KSP Rescaled, the continuation of that, and the beginning of Chapter 3, Legend of the Kraken. I am looking forward to it.